My name is Lucy. I am 47 years old. Many years ago, I worked as a nanny for a wealthy family. Their house stood at the end of a quiet street. It had tall windows, white walls, and a small garden full of roses. Inside, everything was neat and shining. Mr. Howard was the father. Mrs. Helen was the mother. And little Sam was the child I cared for every day. I woke Sam in the morning. I helped him brush his teeth. I made his breakfast. I walked him to the garden and watched him play. He laughed loudly and held my hand when he felt scared. I loved him like my own child. I believed I would stay in that house for many years. Mrs. Helen owned many beautiful things. She had silk dresses, diamond earrings, and a small red purse she kept close to her. She never left it anywhere. She always placed it inside her bedroom drawer. One afternoon, everything changed. Mrs. Helen could not find her red purse. She searched her room again and again. She checked the bed, the cupboard, the table. Her face slowly turned pale. She called Mr. Howard. Then she called me. I told her I had not seen the purse. I had only cleaned the room in the morning like always. She looked at me for a long time. Her eyes were not soft anymore. That evening, Mr. Howard asked me to come to the living room. Mrs. Helen stood near the window. Sam was sitting quietly on the sofa. Mr. Howard spoke in a cold voice. He said the purse had money and important cards. He said no one else had entered the room. I felt my throat go dry. I tried to speak, but the words felt heavy. He told me to pack my things and leave. Mrs. Helen did not stop him. Sam looked confused. He did not understand what was happening. My hands shook as I folded my clothes into a small bag. I looked around the room where I had spent so many days. I wanted to cry, but no tears came out. I walked out of the house slowly. The door closed behind me. I stood outside with my bag. The sky was gray. Cars passed by, but no one looked at me. I felt very small. I walked without knowing where to go. That night, I sat near a bus stop. The bench was hard and cold. I wrapped my arms around myself and closed my eyes, but sleep did not come. I kept thinking about Sam's smile. I kept hearing Mr. Howard's cold voice. The next morning, I felt tired and weak. I had only a little money in my pocket. I bought a cup of tea from a stall and sat on the roadside. I asked many shops if they needed help. Some people ignored me. Some said no without looking at my face. Hours passed. My legs hurt from walking. In the evening, I sat near a small bookstore. The shop was old but warm. Books were stacked everywhere. A soft light came from inside. An elderly man stood behind the counter. His name was Mr. Daniel. He saw me sitting outside for a long time. He came out and asked if I was looking for work. His voice was kind. I told him I could clean, arrange things, and help customers. He looked at me carefully and then said I could help in the shop. He said the pay was small, but I could sleep in the small room behind the store. I felt my eyes fill with tears. That night, I slept on a narrow bed, but I felt safe. Days passed slowly. I cleaned the shelves. I arranged the books. I learned the names of authors. Mr. Daniel always spoke gently. He trusted me without asking many questions. I began to smile again. One afternoon, as I dusted the front table, I saw a familiar car stop outside. Mrs. Helen stepped out. My heart started beating fast. She walked into the bookstore with slow steps. In her hand, she held the small red purse. Her eyes were red. She said they found the purse. It had slipped behind a large box in the wardrobe. It was never stolen. She said she was very sorry. I listened quietly. I felt relief but also pain. She asked me to come back. She said Sam cried for me every night. I looked at the shelves of books around me. I thought about the cold night at the bus stop. I thought about the way they did not believe me. I shook my head gently. I told her I had found a new place. She cried softly and left. That evening, Mr. Daniel made tea for both of us. He did not ask questions. He only said, "You are safe here." Weeks later, I received a small drawing in an envelope. It was from Sam. He had drawn me holding his hand in the garden. I kept the drawing under my pillow. One Sunday morning, I decided to visit them. Sam ran to me when he saw me. He hugged me tightly. Mrs. Helen and Mr. Howard both said sorry again and again. We sat in the garden and talked for a long time. When I left, my heart felt light. I had forgiven them, but I did not return. I walked back to the bookstore where warm light waited for me. Sometimes, losing a place helps you find where you truly belong.